Hey, Pagan Perspective, this is your Friday host Fiakari with a discussion about divination. So I want to focus on what divination means to me in my particular practice as a Celtic Reconstructionist. My general philosophy of divination I discuss in a couple of videos on my personal channel, which I'll if I can remember, I'll put some links to those particular videos over there, so you can kind of understand my I guess philosophical approach to the field of divination. First, I'd like to talk about why we do divination. I mean, the very word divination comes from divine. You know, it's part of communing with the divine, understanding, hearing, listening to the voice of the gods or the spirits. And that's a very important part of our practice, because we want to make offerings that are pleasing to the spirits and to the gods. And so the only way we can know that is through divination, and basically asking, this is what we made as an offering. Is this, are we cool? Do you like it? You know? And if you get a bad omen, then that means you need to make more offerings, or you need to really think about what you're doing. The nice thing, I guess the interesting thing about the Celtic people is that the modes of divination are many-fold. I mean, there's like necromancy, basically looking at the entrails of dead animals and such, or according to the lore, the death throes of a executed person. You know, they kill somebody and watch them die. Now we got a message. But watching the flight of birds, looking at the clouds, getting your messages basically from the natural world. It's questionable as to whether or not this is traditional, but a lot of Celtic reconstructionists use it anyway, and that is using the Ogham alphabet, or the Ogham alphabet. It's sometimes pronounced that way. And making sticks and throwing them and reading it, kind of like you'd read the runes, only instead of 24 runes, there's 20 of the Ogham alphabet, the original Ogham alphabet. So you read the significance of the symbols that way. And that requires a lot of study into understanding the meanings of the symbols and that kind of thing. But personally, my favorite is just listening, just opening yourself up to the world around you through meditation, power of observation, and of quieting the mind in order to really listen to your own instinct and to your own intuition. You know, it's very important. I guess my personal favorite technique is what you might call pyromancy. I consider it a very important part of ritual to have a fire. So every time I have a ritual, there's a fire. I find myself looking into the fire and getting answers that way. One time it was a very clear and definitive answer, and that was that I made an offering, and I was lighting the fire, and I had trouble lighting the fire, or maybe the flame went out. Yeah, that was it. I was made the offering, and I asked, I was looking for a sign, and the flame just blew out, and it had never blown out before, even though, it was outdoors with a candle and all, but it was kind of protected. The flame blew out. It's like, well, and then I tried to light it, like, and I went through. I can usually, I use matches. I could usually light a match, relight the thing very easily. I went through 3 matches, and I couldn't get it lit, couldn't get it relit. So I sat and thought about it, and it was like I realized I was getting a very bad omen. So I made a much bigger offering, and after I made that offering, I lit my match struck up the first time, lit the candle. The candle stayed lit for the rest of the ceremony, the rest of the ritual. So loud and clear, but and that's usually the purpose that I use divination for, is to try to understand, try to gauge my relationship with the divine, with the gods, with the spirits, to know if they accept my offering and my overtures of friendship, and therefore are they willing to give me something in return, and are they willing to give me what I'm asking for in return. Sometimes I use it to work on specific problems. In that case, I would use something like Ogum, where I would throw it and I would meditate upon the pattern that it forms, and it is amazing. It always gives me just incredible insights that I don't think I would have gotten any other way. So I think divination is a tool for insight, personal insight, reading the future. Although I really think that it's not that you see the future. Divination doesn't really give you a glimpse into the future per se. What it does is, just like a weathercaster, a meteorologist can predict the weather, can foresee the future. It's basically understanding the conditions that exist right now, and understanding the natural flow of things from those particular conditions will let you predict the probable outcome of a particular path or choice, or just where things stand right now. So it's not, to me, it's not so much that you see the future, it's you see the natural or the probable natural results of things as they are right now. So that's an important and useful distinction, because that means you can change the future. It's not, nothing's carved in stone, because it's not, it hasn't happened yet. And you can change now so that the results will be different in the future. So that's basically it. That's as always, I love to hear your feedback and comments, and if necessary, I'll do a follow-up either on my channel or here. It's all good. So, anyway, thank you, and may the gods bless you.